go. Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 446. We're reviewing episodes 3 through 5 of Ninninger. So, episode 3 is basically sort of a character-focused episode on the Yellow Ranger. Yes, the whole thing is, he basically reads all these textbooks. It's like he's studying for some certain exam. And also in this episode, now, the whole thing of having the Ranger steal someone's episode, in the case of this one, he didn't necessarily steal it per se. Yeah, he ends up fighting one of the characters in the episode, but he's not stealing it. I'm sure basically it probably happens, but I haven't seen it yet per se. So, and by the way, in this episode, the yokai is actually not killed by one of the Rangers. It's actually killed by one of the spears. Yep. So, by the way, the monsters one is basically where like, let's have a star. Let's have the star take over a pair of roller skates. And have Yell basically chasing a lot of the episode. Excuse me, Red's being a bit arrogant as usual. Him and Blue basically have a bit of a rivalry. Let's be who'll be the last ninja. Like, I highly doubt that's basically a shortcut to it. So Yellow chasing him for quite a while. And apparently also he has like these magic ring. I'm like, what? A magic ring? Yeah. Oh, in case you're curious though, does it kind of part in Kaka Ranger? He does. Kasha. Yes. Who debuted toward the end of Kaka Ranger during the last, handful of episodes of that series. And he basically used the ring to put Yellow on a truck. Yes, a freaking truck. Where basically, of course, Rangers go after him while basically Red takes on Gibba, the brand new first spear who just made his debut in the previous episode. Yeah, actually it was a cameo. This is actually his first full appearance. He's asked to gather fear. He's got to get fear, but not at first. He's like, I'm not fully awake yet. And then he fights Red, and actually, Red does the signature move on him, and doesn't necessarily kill him, but that actually does wake him up. He's like, not bad. And then, of course, Pink has to save him because basically he's about to die, obviously. So, basically sets up a potential rematch for these two. And then pretty much in the very next episode, the whole thing with this one is basically where, we also have first thing we have a simulation where we make a previous monster. Well, pretty much the first monster they battled. And Taku doesn't want to do teamwork. He'd rather just basically do all himself. We also have another mission where basically he had just goofed it up because they come with a little special catchphrase. Mission's not over until you come home. Like, he got the scroll and then he decided to yell and fail. All because he said open his mouth. I get the fact basically that he's actually got a bit. Of course, I agree with his family here. He should not have done that at all. But he did. Yep. Then, of course, basically, another way he tries a simulation. Of course, they try to do fire. And then after a while, because he's so strong, He's told by his father, go cool your head. Which he does by eating Odin. Yep, and then also briefly being swallowed by the spider yokai. Yes, a spider yokai. And the whole thing is also, they serve a plot there of like, oh, let's go steal stuff. So, yeah. He's basically a spider monster. Oh yeah, he does have a counterpart in Kakaranger, who appeared in episode 19. It's the character of Tashmagu. Yeah, because they're yokai, this is basically his counterpart here. Mm-hmm. And he does appear in Power Rangers in Drive to Survive, episode 5. Which is interesting because basically his debut in Sentai was episode 4. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So he gets swallowed by, of course, basically the grandfather happened to be the Odin card thing. So Steven asks his grandfather for a favor, which combining with his wind power proceeds to blow a hole in the stomach, which causes the spider yokai to regurgitate them and like, oh, Grandpa, what are you doing here? And it's like, I'll let you guys handle this. So, pretty much basically, they do. And of course, they have the ceiling shuriken, or they have, well, they can whip. And then the ceiling shuriken in the episode transforms into a green shuriken, where he uses it and he summons an elephant. Yes, an elephant. Which basically acts as a vac clear and eventually it makes into a axe weapon, which he then proceeds to destroy the yokai. Also in episode 3, I forgot to mention this. 3 was also the first time that Red first met, well, Izukai. Kazuyamon. Yeah. This episode was episode 3 was the first time these two ever met. Which is interesting. So you have basically 2 villains here. I thought that was very interesting. The fact that basically in episode 3 the first time they met both of them. Yep. Oh, and the textbooks they can put away. But they get a new mech. Now, he himself is not in very much of Ninninger. He only appears in 8 episodes. You're like, really? 8? Yeah. In Ninninger, in Ninja Steel, he is Rumble Tough Sword. And he does not appear very much. He appears roughly in 6 episodes compared to his Sentai counterpart, who appears in 8. 2 episodes less. Okay. And then basically we have where the next yokai is basically a satellite dish. Well, it looks like it was actually DirecTV for some weird reason. Yes, frickin' DirecTV. So, at first, oh, it's a very friendly yokai giving out balloons. That was until basically they tried receivers to create the leader of all these yokai. Now, these particular yokai, not yokai overall. Basically, there's no defined ruler. They're just a species that then just have to fight. Though for some reason, despite the fact you had to fight yokai, they did in Hurricaneger. Nope, they fought space ninjas. So, and the thing is, unintentionally, this is an episode for Yokomo. Not Yokomo, not him. Katsumi. Yeah, it's unintentionally her episode. Yeah, how should I put it when it comes to her? I think it was Fuka, I think it was. It wasn't Fuka, it was actually Katsumi. Where she's like a student at the university, and like she easily figures out though that the yokai is actually really bad. The whole good guy thing is just a ploy. And she gets her own ally, a UFO. Yes, I am not kidding about that. A UFO known as Atomo Nin UFO Maro. He appears a little bit more than the elephant. He appears in 9 episodes. Yes, 9. Though weirdly after this... It's me. Yeah, after this episode, he does not appear. This particular mech does not appear in episode 15 of the series. Well, he does also appear in the special, which we'll discuss some other time. But and of course, Gibu wants a rematch. Of course, Red wants to fight, but then of course he forgets the fact that he actually fight by the end of the episode. I'd say these episodes definitely improvement over the first 2. And at this point, I have 42 episodes left to go overall for the series. But before my break, I have exactly 25 left. Yeah, the plan is still to stop at 30. I have no plans to extend it. Just stop at 30. Because I figured that point I probably covered a lot of stuff already. So I would have time to do more. I would think I'd do more. But it's getting kind of late right now. So I'm going to just do one comic corner and then call it a night. Okay, so... please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you all in my comic corner. Okay, thanks, you. Bye.